Okay, so today's problem child is a 2007 Mazda CX9 all-wheel drive, and it's not an all-wheel drive anymore. In other words, the transfer case in the front has failed and there's no drive to the rear. So I can turn the output shaft and there's no turning of the input shaft, as opposed to the new replacement one that we have here. You can see that when we turn it, turn this and it turns the output shaft. So there's been a catastrophic failure inside the transfer case. But now to get it out, start by removing both front wheels, left front caliper or right front caliper, disconnect the lower ball joint, remove the outer axle shaft, CV shaft. I got to change the wheel bearing on this side anyway, so we'll do that later. Remove the CV shaft, then the intermediate shaft into the final drive. Heat all of the exhaust components. Where's the exhaust components? All of the exhaust bolts to remove all of the exhaust. Disconnect. Tie the flex joint over to one side. And then remove the lower motor mount here. Disconnect the catalytic converter from the manifold. Had to heat all four of those bolts without catching fire on the vehicle. Remove all the bolts to hold the transfer case in. Use a small chain to pull the engine forward, as you can see, until it's just about touching the cooling fan on the front. And then you can take the transfer case out of here. And basically reverse the install. Now there's considerable wear on the spline that drives the transfer case there. I'll clean that up and have a look at it, but if that's worn out, then that means transmission R&R, which is a significantly bigger job. Plus, we'll have to find out why the transfer case failed. There could be a problem with it always in four-wheel drive, or different tire sizes, or something like that. But apparently this is fairly common. Bought the transfer case from a supplier in the US, significantly cheaper than in Canada.